Plenty of guys out there that getting a new set of wheels every other week. You know, people that are putting turbo kits on everything every week. The people that are doing a whole bunch of stuff. Enough of that on the internet, I think. What I decided I'm gonna do is some basic ass maintenance. And today we're working on the wagon. Not a lot of you got excited about it because not a lot of you watched anything about it. But this is not my first 1.8. You know, it's supposed to be a pretty good motor. I've had some issues with it, but how about I just walk you through what I've done so far and tell you what I'm doing today. This, I'm trying to shine a light into it to show it to you. As you can see, there is a bit of a sediment right there in the coolant, which is scary. Don't get me wrong, it is super scary, and without knowing much, what you do is you assume that the head gasket's gone. But a few painful research nights later, I find that apparently it's fairly common for these things to blow a oil cooler, which is actually an extremely easy thing to replace. It's this silver sandwich plate that's kind of connects the block to the oil filter, or the oil filter to the block, I should say. And when it fails, it forces, or it allows for the oil to get into your coolant. So I've replaced that, and since then I haven't really had any new sediment, so I gotta, I think, flush the coolant one more time. But what this entailed is really there's just a 27mm bolt. Once you remove the oil filter, focus. Anyway, there's a 27mm bolt on that side, and kind of had to actually buy one because it's not a normal size that you have, and nut is extremely shallow. So I did that, but I thought, you know what, might as well refresh the entire cooling system. So in the short amount of time that I own this, so far, this new expansion tank, of course, just to make it look a little nicer. The thermostat housing, thermostat itself, J-plug, which is a little plastic plug that looks like a letter J, but it's literally there for nothing other than when these motors are installed transversely as opposed to this way, is just a port that's never used. So mine actually, I think I have it somewhere, ended up looking like this. This is actually it. So it's super gross, and there is an extra portion of it, about a 1/4 inch like this, that's missing because it broke off inside of the block. To pull that out, that was a pain. Being a terrible YouTuber, obviously I didn't film it, but I think there's a second portion of it here. Somewhere. Either way, this also broke. Very common when I was taking everything apart. This is just a dipstick tube that was like $10 on Amazon. Replace that. I don't know what I was saying, but a new radiator. As I was pulling the alternator, I noticed these actually have a little clutch on the alternator pulley, I guess. So something that lets it disconnect when the battery's not charging, I suppose. So replace that, and other than that, it's been pretty good. You know, I think my front axles are starting to click, but again, buying a car with 100,000 miles, especially one with this logo, right? You may expect to put some money in it. But so far, it worked awesome for beach trips, for things like that. Randomly, sometimes what happens is I'm on the highway, and trying to get on the highway, let's say, give it a little boost in third gear, and it breaks up a bit. And the most common issue with that, well, the most common problem typically, is these guys, ignition. Super easy. As I told you, doing basic ass maintenance today. We're going to do that. Obviously I already changed the oil and all that random small stuff, but yeah, let's just get right to it. So far I disconnected the 4 coils. Only broke all of them. Not the coils, but these fucking clips. Pisses me off, man. Grinds my gears. Expletive. Brittle ass shit. It smells like gas. Should I describe what I'm doing? I'm taking out the spark plugs, if you can tell. For some reason, I guess because my extension is too long, this was really difficult. Wow, you trying to be a gimbal?
I am a gimbal.
Human gimbal?
I'm a gimbal.
Once you see how shaky that shit can be, you will know what a gimbal actually does for $2,000. This one has quite a bit of oil in it. That's okay.
Famous last words.
I know, right?
Sounds like I am zooming.
Wow.
This is what you call detail and precision.
Framing the shot out. Wow, this has even more oil in it.
I'm gonna taste it too.
No. That's surprisingly tight. That's what he said.
Wow. Wow.
What are you wowing at? Annoying the viewers, losing me subscribers.
I'm sorry. Stay. Please stay. Or go. It's up to you, you know.
It is. It's a free country. Make choices. Live with them.
Dun, 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 dun.
The more you know. There's a ton of oil in these cylinders. I think that's a good thing, right?
Isn't that how they work, right? With the oil?
Man, Alan, remember we put that fuel cleaner in there?
Yep.
The valves are so clean, it's amazing.
I know.
But you know what the funny thing is, though? Funny enough, I think my turbo seals are going bad, and it's putting a lot of oil into the combustion chamber. But they were super black, and now they're a little bit better. Can you see that? A little better. So, AutoZone, Lucas fuel valve, something cleaner. Next step is actually important, which is most basic ass maintenance videos won't show you this. Well, maybe they won't, maybe they will. So right here, so you see a spark plug fires in this little gap right here. Can you see this gap? Some of these plugs usually come pre-gapped, meaning that the gap is correct. But you want to make sure, it also depends on the boost you're running and all that stuff, but you already know that if you know gapping plugs. But either way, you want to at least make sure it's within factory spec, this gap right here. And the more boost you run, I think typically the less of a gap you give it. It also depends on the fuel, all kinds of other shit. But on the new plugs, you want to make sure that they're not like all wide open or way too tight. You want to make sure it's within spec. So, where do you find the spec? The most useless fucking book in the world. But it does have some specifications. So, spark plug, type and gap. 1 and 2. Pages 1 and 2. Are you serious? Oh, no. This is section 1, page 2.
Reading comprehension.
Look.
Someone missed that class on how to read a book.
Shut up. NGK PFR 6Q is the type of the plug. Spark plug gap 32 thousandths of an inch, which is just stupid American way of saying 0.8 to 0.9 of a millimeter. So much simpler, right? 32 thousandths. We only have inches. We Americans.
That sounds like the sound of a hair.
Your voice, yes, it does.
Wow. See, you gotta delete this footage so that it never makes it to the internet in like the year 2080 when we're very successful and, you know, topple empires.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
2080? Hate to break it to you. You might not make it to 2080.
Hey, popular science says that I might.
So this is what a high quality 99-cent spark plug gapper looks like. Look like a coin. And look, they're right spark plugs from a nameless store because they don't sponsor me. When a store sponsors me, they will know. The YouTubers will know. Either way, here's how you do it. You take your little fresh spark plug, you make your light stop flicker, ring. Oops. Make a mess. All right, so this actually looks to be, I don't know, can you see? Can you see? Mm-hmm. There you go. So it looks like this is pretty gap, but here's how you do it. You start at the most, like at the beginning of it essentially, like this, and you slide the coin over, and when it stops, you know what size it is. So in our case, it's actually a little too tight. Or no, yes it is, because the book calls for, what's it, 0.32? I mean 32 thousandths, and we are at, oops, actually we might be right there. So we're now at about 32 right there, so you can kind of slide it and that opens it up a bit. Yeah, don't know what store this is, they don't sponsor me. Dielectric spark plug boot protector. Avoid stuck boots. But also some people like to put it on here. Well, actually some people like to put anti-seize on this. So in case maybe any moisture gets onto it, it doesn't rust onto the block. Right? Because there's heat and all kinds of stuff happening. If you put anti-seize on here, it won't rust onto the block and let it seep. It'll be easier to take out. Usually just a dab of that. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's like a, some people say you shouldn't do that. Like these spark plugs definitely did not have any. They were kind of a pain to take out. They were fine. You know what, we're going in bone dry. Right? Bone dry. So again, this tool is really useful for something like this. It has a little magnet and it also protects your ceramic thingy right here. So you pop the thing into the proper spark plug socket so it won't fall out. Pop that thing into your cylinder and start it off by hand. Spark plug. It actually has torque figures for spark plugs, which is cool.
Why is it cool?
Well, because most people usually, I mean, most manuals say like something tight and then a quarter turn or full turn or something. This has a torque figure, but it's really low. Mm. It's look, it's 18 pounds per foot. 18 pounds per foot, which is like my wrench. That would really make any difference if I go that low. So I'm going to use. Well, actually, I'm going to use the old built-in torque wrench. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? They do. They know what you're saying.
Okay, good. So we're gonna tighten that a bit. Each one of these spark plugs has a so there's different types of spark plugs, right? This one has a crush washer, right? So this washer right here literally needs to be crushed in order for the spark plugs to seal in the cylinder. There's also this type right here that they don't have a crush washer, so you know these will typically seal in without you doing it, but they kind of have this shape that helps it seal it, right? Serves similar purpose, I guess. Either way, spark plugs are in. I think they're tight enough. They feel like exactly about 18 and a half foot-pounds to me. So it's all good. Now these are prettier because they're red. I think it's like a upgraded part number. Probably better because it's red. So this is literally as easy as the reverse of the other situation. Pop it in with now your newly broken clips. What do you want me to put? You want me to apply the two spark plug. So this is the time where this might come in useful. So tear here. Oh, that's a cool baggie. Check out this baggie. You tear it and there's a little corner immediately turn off for you. That's kind of neat. Well, because you know what you're doing, right? Can you film? Look, take it on the little thingy like this, and then go right in there. Right in there. Okay. They kind of click a little bit once they are finally in there. So what I'm trying to hit is that little rubber ring. Okay. Smells like quality. Smells like a province in China that has made them. Okay. Well, I should say they would click if I didn't break all the clips, right? Because the clips is what makes the clicking sound. This is number 4. Alright. Wow, this is tight. This is also what he said. It's good for him. Okay, there's kind of a couple thingies that hold the wire in. There's a single ground for all 4 of the pairs. Oh, I wasn't filming with this for a while. Oh, I was. Never mind. Alright, so you tighten that. That sucks that I did that. Wish there's a way to replace that. Anyway, you take all this stuff, you say what you need, you throw away what you don't, and then you open up the garage door so you don't suffocate, and hopefully see if she runs. Basic ass maintenance.